Hello, Dream Quest beauties. How are you? Oh my goodness, am I so excited for this module. Welcome to module 4. Let me share my screen here. Share. Here we are. Are you excited? I know I'm like over the moon excited to be having this conversation today. I just need to fix a couple of things on my desk. Fantastic. Okay, great. Let's do this. Welcome back, first of all. I know that I start off with saying I should just not put that in the module, but if you are picking up your worksheet without listening to this at some point, I want you to feel welcome. I want you to feel excited to be back. So welcome back, you empowered dreamer, you. Words cannot express truly how proud I am of you for really grasping a hold of the concept of play. We dove into that really deep in module 3, and I know that shifting your paradigm from play being something that is situational and maybe something that you just don't know, you can't possibly imagine doing, right? Like we think of play sometimes like we're adults now. We can't play. We have to do the adult thing. Like whatever it is you have previously put into your, well, this is what it's like to be in the play category. Congratulations, because I know that you had to shift your paradigm to making this something that you can actually do every second of every day. And that can be challenging, but now you know it doesn't have to be so hard. I'm so proud of you because that one was tricky for some, and it doesn't have to be so hard. You get to play. It gets to be a normal part of your life. There doesn't have to be a difference between work and play anymore. Living and play, adulting and childing. You get to have fun with it all. And from this state of fun, we get to create a high vibe for ourselves to always function within, which is exactly what this module is all about. So we're going to just go there in this module. We're not wasting any time with fluff. Not that we really talk about fluff. Everything that we talk about is super, super important. But as I was writing this out and feeling into it, I was just like, oh, we're just going right there. The law of attraction. Here it is. As we raise our vibe, which means literally increasing the energetic frequency we are functioning on, we attract in other things that live on that higher frequency field. Like attracts like. So that first paragraph, that was basically my way of explaining what the law of attraction is. If you're thinking of things that you want, then the fact that you want them and you feel like they're out of your grasp entails the fact that you need to raise yourself to being able to be on a plane that will energetically attract them, that will energetically bring them to you. I think about it as like just different layers of a cake. Like you can't be on the bottom layer and think you're going to be licking the frosting that's up on the top. You literally have to come up and be on the same level to make it easier. Just like with electricity, I remember, I did not plan to share this, but this is a really good visual for you. I remember I was in the 3rd grade and we were learning about electricity, and some brilliant child in my class asked the question, well, so if electricity travels through the wires that we see outside our house, like, right, like attached to telephone wires or whatever, or telephone poles, then why, when birds sit on them, don't they get shocked? And I was like, that was a brilliant question. I remember thinking that when I was little, and like somebody asked it for our knowledge then, but so that I could share it again now. Like, so cool. And the person answered it quite beautifully. She said, electricity wants to find the quickest way to get anywhere. So in order for it to get from point A to point B, it's quicker to go straight through the wire than it is up one bird's leg and down the other. Right? So think of that like this. If you want something and you feel like it's out of your grasp, then the quickest way for you to get it is not to like hope that you can like throw up a fishing pole and drag it down. No, it's to go up and make it just an easy street for it to come to you. Make it that one wire between you and the thing, rather than it having to intertwine and surpass all the different layers. So cool. So why is this important? Because in the place of false safety and closed offness, You guys, I know that you love how I make up words. You've been living in, right? Because we've talked about that. We've been living in this place that we have dubbed safe, but now we know that this comfort zone that we lived in is actually the most super uncomfortable, most restrictive thing we could be in up until modules 1 and 2, when we worked through that. Your vibe has been at a lower state. So when we're in that safety zone, our vibe is in the safety zone too. So, which has caused you to forget your dreams and talk yourself into feeling like you don't deserve them, right? So again, let's go back to the cake. If you can claim that you want the icing on the top, but if you're down on the lower level, you can talk yourself out of it. Like, no, it's just so much work to go up there. And no, you know what? Actually, I'm down here for a reason. I don't deserve the icing on the top. And that's baloney. We know that now. So when we think about dreaming and uncovering our dreams, it feels good, right? Like when we're in that state of like, I want that icing. I have a dream of that icing. Like that feels good. Imagining yourself like taking that first taste of the icing feels good. It feels good. And spoiler alert, we all want what we want because it's going to help us to feel good. And when we feel good, we call in more of what we want, right? So we want the thing because it feels good as we're thinking about it and we think it's going to feel good. And as we experience it and bring it to life, it does feel good. And we want what we want because we want to feel good. And when we feel good, we call in more of what we want because it's more easily attained. It's the quickest way to us. We're feeling good already. Sweet, that thing that we want is on that level already. All it has to do is zoom across. It's just going to hop on the wire, the straight path wire. See what we did there? We get to create the good feeling. And as we do that, we inevitably call in more of what we want because what we want is associated with feeling good. The more we feel good, the more we call in what we want. That's law of attraction, Jillian style, complete with electric wires and bird talk, apparently. So in this next section, we're going to talk about focusing on the feeling. Instead of asking you what you want, because I know that that's been like a tricky hang up for some. And again, it doesn't have to be so hard. We've established that. But instead of asking you what you want, even though we are almost ready to really state our dreams, I'm going to suggest that we focus on that feeling because then what you want will naturally reveal itself, right? Like we want what we want because that makes us feel good. And as we feel good, we call in more of what we want. So let's just remove that first layer of it and let's focus on the feeling itself. Let's focus on feeling good. We get to create the life that we want by creating the feeling of what we want to feel in the future now. That line right there is everything. I recommend blasting that all over social media. Make sure to tag me and give me credit because when that was born, I was like, there it is. That's exactly it. We get to create the life we want by creating the feeling of what we want to feel in the future now. That's everything. That's all that we're after. That is the golden nugget of this entire course. We're going to now train you how to achieve that and how to attain that, but that's at the core of all that we're here for. Yay. So the steps to raising your vibe. You know me, I love giving you steps. And of course, you get to make them your way. You get to play with these. You get to maneuver around them. I mean, these are your steps, but this is the general outline. This is what I have, when I think back on my journey and what I have done, these are the steps that I've followed in order to raise my vibe every single day. And actually, disclaimer, I'll just share this with you. This morning, on the day of recording this morning, my vibe was so low. We're talking like ultra, ultra low. And quite honestly, I don't know why. I did some trainings around this on social media earlier today, which is not the day that you're watching this. But what I said was, for the divine feminine to rise, she needs to feel her feelings. And we have been taught in this very patriarchal society of go and grind and do all the things, the world that was created by man to work for a man, in this patriarchal, very masculine-based world that we've been living in, we've been taught not to feel. But our divine feminine is rising. That's why you're all in this group. And we all have masculine and feminine within us. We, as women, though, have been programmed to try to fit ourselves into fit the square peg into the round hole of the masculine world when we truly want to be within our divine feminine. That's what we're uncovering here in Dream Quest. So as the divine feminine wants to rise, as she's yearning to rise, she wants to feel her feelings. And as we allow ourselves to feel our feelings, we can then ask ourselves, why is it we're feeling this way? So this morning, I couldn't come up with a quick reason as to why I was feeling low. So what I did, instead of forcing through it, instead of grinding through it, I sat with it. So declare or feel your feelings, number one. Ask yourself where they came from or what it's trying to tell you or what's coming up around that feeling. If you don't get a quick answer, sometimes we will, then it's time to sit and get still with those feelings. As we do that, we allow the feelings to rise. And as we do that, we allow for our vibe to rise as we release what no longer serves us, remind ourselves of our innate gifts. So today, I started off in a really, really low spot. I felt my feelings. I didn't know where they came from, so I got quiet. I uncovered a couple things within me, and then I followed these steps to really raising my vibe. I wanted to get this video produced today. Was I going to force myself to do it? Absolutely not. No way. But as I started to allow myself to feel, release what didn't serve me anymore, embody what did serve me, and then move through the process of feeling, my divine feminine rose. I got to be in the swirl of it all. And then I got to follow these steps so that I would raise my vibe high enough to be able to come in and have this very sacred, very timely, and important conversation with you. So I hope that my sharing my own personal journey with this really helps you because you're not alone. We all feel the feels. We all go through this. And we get to do that. We get to allow ourselves to do that and then create magic on the other side. Because if we don't allow ourselves to feel the feels, which is what many of us have done forever, we've shunned that, we've pushed it down, we've stuffed it down, then we just feel depleted. We feel even more angry and anxious. We feel like, oh, if only I had just given myself that time, I'd be over it by now. All the thoughts. So feel your feelings, ladies. And then let's raise the vibe. So number one, that was good. Declare to the universe that you are ready to raise your vibe so that you are a vibrational match for your dreams. Today, as I worked through all my stuff, there came a point I said, okay, I declare that it is time for me to raise my vibe. It's time for me to shake off this anxious feeling and record this video and just see what magic comes from me stepping into a place that I can record this because I'm a vibrational match for being able to transmit the energy that you all need and desire and are taking in as you're listening and watching this. And because this is part of my dream, creating this module, creating this program, this has been part of my overall bigger dreams. You see? But I wasn't going to force it. If my feelings weren't ready to be shaken off before now, this video wasn't getting done today, and that would have been okay. But I declared it, and I became a vibrational match before I pressed record for this video. So powerful. Number two, get still. I just talked about this. It is in stillness that we soften so that we can rise. This does not mean that you are weak or lazy or missing out or any other thing that you've told yourself in the past about stillness. In this softness, we have a cushion to jump and flow on rather than a rigid platform, which will only take us so high when we try to jump. I imagine when I get into this stillness space, which is what I did like an hour ago, this is so timely, because I wrote this module a few days ago. This is just so cool. I hope you can feel how like the excitement of like just all the divine timing of it all. In this still space, what I actually envision is, okay, I'm feeling the feels. I'm feeling the swirl within me. What are these emotions? What are they trying to tell me? What are they trying to reveal? And as I'm here, I see like this swirly cloud start to form. It's almost like, I don't know how many of you churn butter. I know that I don't. But the image that I get is when you're churning butter, over time, it starts off as cream. So over time, the cream will start to firm. It will start to harden in the middle, um, get more hard than the liquid that it starts in. And it turns into butter, which is still soft and squishy. But as we're churning, we almost start to create that little cloud of butter. And as we're in that stillness, we're in the stillness and it's all churning around us, and that pat of butter starts to form. And I picture it like a cloud of butter. I know that sounds so weird, but that's how I picture it. And I picture myself as the divine goddess on top. And as everything is still churning and swirling around me, I feel that butter cushion, that butter cloud start to rise. What once felt like a pool of just liquid drowning me is now the very platform, the very soft and the very smooth and the very fluctuating platform that I get to stand. And as I stand, I get to really float. I imagine the cloud like going up out of the bucket and just touching in, like tag teaming in with divine consciousness, with heaven. As opposed to if we don't allow ourselves to feel the feelings and be in the swirl, and we just like, I picture myself literally on a piece of pavement. And when I'm not allowing myself to feel the feeling, you guys have all heard like pound your head against the pavement, like that type of feeling. Well, it is so much more beautiful and elegant and more flowy to imagine yourself rising from the stillness on a cloud. There's never ending. It's limitless, as opposed to being on a platform that's made of pavement and trying to jump for your dreams, but you've got no cushion to hold you. So you can only go up so far, as opposed to that butter cloud that will just keep rising. You're jumping off that platform, that hard pavement. You're only going to go up so hard and you're going to come crashing down. If you allow yourself to be in the swirl and to let the butter cloud to rise, then you get to rise with it and it's unending. So get still, because from that stillness, you will rise. Number 3, surrender. This is my word for 2019. Allow spirit to do her thing. I'm just going to leave it right there. And I want you to surrender control. I want you to surrender control, limiting beliefs, self-sabotaging habits. Anything that has kept you stuck and in a low vibe, palms up, sister. Palms up, give it up. You don't have to do it all by yourself. You don't have to figure it all out. You literally get to feel your feels and allow the universe to do her thing. But in order for the universe to do her thing, you have to surrender control. And you get to. We've talked about this before. We talked about this a lot in Module 1. Do you really want to control everything? No, you don't. How beautiful does it feel to think about yourself floating away on a cloud made of butter? So amazing, right? So surrender control, let the universe do her thing. I believe that the universe is rigged in our favor. The universe wants us to have all that we desire. We just have to get clear on the feeling of that thing and what it is that we want. And let her take us on the ride. Let her be the guiding force of our butter cloud. Number 4, open. As we rise within our stillness, as we calm the go, 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 as well as raise our hearts, we flow, we open. This openness will, as you raise your vibe, allow for you to release pent-up worries and fears that have crept in, as well as create space for you to allow your dreams to enter and be remembered. Because actually, our dreams aren't outside of us. So I believe that the universe has our dreams in the palm of all the things, all the abundant energy that surrounds us, but it's also within us. So for me, I picture like the gift of the dream, like the remembrance coming through my crown chakra, and then also my heart opening up and letting it all flow, letting it all just open up and be all together. So beautiful. Number 5, think and feel of all the things you currently love. That's a long one compared to like the one-liners, the one-worders above. But think and feel of all the things that you currently love. This can be a rapid fire, or these thoughts and feelings can flow. Like free and effortless liquid, they can flow. As you bring all the things that you currently love into your vortex, you are reminded that you are love. And you are abundantly surrounded by love, thus calling in even more. So if you think and you feel of the things that you already love, you're going to bring in more of those things. And love is a magnet for more love. So you're going to bring in more things that you love before you even recognize it, before you even know what they are. And number 6 is receive. In this space, you don't have to do anything. No action has to take place. You are worthy. You are open. You are willing to receive. How beautiful is that? And then number 7 is breathe, smile, celebrate, and live in joy, my friends, because you've created the high vibe. You've created the opportunity to call in what you want. You've created your dream life because you're freaking amazing. So I hope you follow those steps. I hope that you love those steps. And I hope that you feel really light about those steps. And who wants to go like ride on a butter cloud with me? So module 4 homework, here you go. I would love for you to journal, finish this sentence. I feel amazing when I will remove that when there. I feel amazing when I. And then number 2, what would it feel like to raise my vibe to be a match for my dreams more often than not? Because here's the thing, like I shared with you, this morning, I wasn't really feeling it. My vibe was down, but that's okay. Because the fact is, I choose to raise my vibe more often than I don't choose to raise it, or more often than it's low. It's just how I function. It's the only way I know how to do it at this point, but I didn't know how to do it before really feeling into these steps, which I'm sharing with you now. So what would it feel like to raise my vibe to match my dreams more often than I stay stuck in that place? More often than when I feel like I'm pounding my face on the pavement. More often than when I feel like I'm jumping from a rigid platform with nowhere to go but crashing down. And then what am I ready to receive from raising my vibe? I'll let you have fun with that. And then part 2, be mindful and follow these steps in meditation daily, and then do the vibe raising meditation that accompanies this module. Yes, I created another meditation for you, and do that as often as possible. This meditation is a much shorter one, and it's going to be one that will help you. My vision for this meditation is going to be one to kind of get you centered pre-journaling, or get you centered pre-meditating, so that you can really like just get into that space. I'm going to follow the steps above, and we're going to really have fun with it. So it's going to be easeful and flowy, and you'll get to take it from here. This is not a meditation that you can do this thing and feel good at the end of it, but I actually think of it as a gateway. You guys know how important gateways are for me, right? We've had this conversation with many of the oil, many of the crystals. So this meditation gets to be a gateway meditation for you. Final notes, this high vibe step in this process is the gateway into dream ignition, which will be part of the next stop on our dream quest. Again, here is my link for all the doTERRA oils. If you would like to be a part of my essential oil sisterhood and you'd like for my support over there, I believe that these oils listed here are the very best in terms of raising your vibe, because each oil has within it, so we're all energy. Everything is made of energy. Oils are created from plants and flowers and trees and all different things around the world, living things that have their own different vibration. They have their own different energy. And things like rose, which is the highest vibrational essential oil there is. And then jasmine, which is, jasmine is divine feminine. My best friends know that like I'm calling in the big guns. I'm calling in like divine feminine at her most expansive and sensual and fluidity and creativeness when I am carrying and wearing jasmine and rose with me. Also neroli, as well as frankincense. And frankincense has shown up a couple times for us, and it's the king. Frankincense is the king. It's the crown chakra oil that I use. It's what I trained you guys to do in the essential oils, opening your chakras. Step-by-step process that I take. So I'm actually diffusing frankincense right now. So crystals to support this feeling of high vibe, you guys know. So I am not a perfectionist. And I do go over these before I record them, but you're going to find some typos in here, but I'll always go back and fix them. Crystals to support your feelings of high vibe are clear quartz. And I actually have been walking around with clear quartz. Here's a cool story. Saturday night. So I'm recording this on a Monday. So 2 nights ago, I slept with this clear quartz in my hand and I held it all night. Now, last night I fell asleep with it in my hand and it woke up and it was like under my back. But like Saturday night, I know how, and I could feel how deeply supported I was, and I could feel how deeply I really wanted that feeling. Clear quartz is such a good neutralizing crystal. It is like, for me, it just brings you back to center. It's neutralizing, meaning that if you're feeling really high, it brings you back down. If you're feeling really low, it brings you back up. It's such like a heart-centered crystal for me. And I can tell you that my spirit team was on it because they knew I needed to hold on to this the whole night. Can you imagine falling asleep with something in your hand and waking up with it in your hand? Think about how many times we move around in the night. This stayed in my hand. So cool. And you guys, this is another reason why I'll never go back and re-record this just because it's not perfect. Because so much comes out and I channel so much, and I often do feel like the first time through, I get the very best downloads. Like the second time through, you want to like almost recreate what you made. I'm not going to do that for you guys. You guys need to see the real and the raw and what happens behind the scenes. So sorry, not sorry if there are typos. I will go back and fix them in the actual workbook itself so that you have the right words. I actually think there was a point up above where I skipped a word in the fill in the blank. I'll go fix it. It's okay. But you guys need to hear the true stories. You guys need to hear about what's going on in my dream creation process, on my dream quest over here, and how I'm supporting myself with all of it. So get some clear quartz if you don't have any. Also, I don't know if you've heard of crystal grids before, but you can make a crystal grid to and set an intention with it to call in energy or to bring about abundance in whatever ways, and clear quartz in the middle of it to really help harmonize and kind of like seal together all the beautiful energies that the different crystals bring into it. So powerful, right in the middle. Selenite is another really powerful high vibe crystal, as well as labradorite and danburite. I don't actually have that, and I don't know if I'm even saying it correctly, but I did a lot of research and I found that one popped out a couple times at me. So there you go. Congratulations, my loves. Raising your vibe calls in what you want so that you can start turning those dreams into reality. Are you guys ready? We're going there. We're going there. We've done a lot of onion layer peeling. We've done a lot of releasing. We've done a lot of looking at what's hard. We've done a lot of looking at what's been holding us down. And I don't know about you, but I'm ready to hop on the butter cloud. Yes? Great. So let me stop my share here. And thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for seeing me as a human, for seeing me as doing this right alongside you, being able to feel safe enough to share my story about how I was feeling earlier today, being able to share my story. You guys, do you know how many people would think whatever they want to think if I said I fell asleep with a crystal in my hand and I woke up with it? Right? I have a safe space here. And also I've done enough work that I don't effing care anymore, but I did once. And I just want to honor you all because we're here together. We're doing it. We're doing the thing. We're doing the dream creation thing. And we get to do it together with one another. And I'm just so grateful for you. So enjoy this module. Have fun. Go check out the meditation next, and we will see you in the group. Bye, guys.